Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Nama. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Om Adhyayai Namaha. Om Adhyayai Namaha. Om Adhyayai Namaha. Om Shri Kala Bhairavaya Namo Namaha. Om Shri Kala Bhairavaya Namo Namaha. Om Shri Kala Bhairavaya Namo Namaha. So good morning, and we're back on yet another video. The subject of this video is to mildly prepare you for the series of sadhanas that I will be rolling out, which is more of generic sadhana for generic people who have been exposed to Bhairava as a name and as an energy, majorly due to the recent outburst of Bhairava on YouTube, podcast and all that. So because of that, many of you are interested in this path. However, he also hears that many of you are without guidance. That is why people who are very silently sitting in their houses doing the sadhana of Bhairava are now talking, and they're coming out talking about this form. So today's video is a little bit of a generic guidelines. Ma Adhya Kali Sadhana related video is coming up. You don't have to fear. I will be giving ample time. It is not like if you don't start immediately, it is not like that. Ma Adhya Kali Sadhana would be given with proper instructions on who should do it and who need not do it. How a simple, even if you hear that video, a simple Shama Prathana can be done, and you can decide, I am just saluting to you, Ma, and I will come back later. That sort of freedom is there. So it's not like you hear the video and you have to compulsorily do it. So I am going by some of the videos, some of the emails that I received in my email, and one of the main questions I saw in it was, I saw your Swarnakarshna, Vatuka Swarnakarshna Bhairava under the family of Vatuka Bhairava, Sri Swarnakarshna form of Vatuka Bhairava, that video which I had posted. Somebody had seen it, and they wanted to know if the first question was if it would affect the married life. Number one, you are unfit for the sadhana. Plain and simple. The name Bhairava means that the one who destroys the fear within the designs of Brahma. So if you feel that getting into the sadhana of Vatuka Swarnakarshna Bhairava, ipso facto you are disqualified from it. I am not interested in likes, and I am not interested in earning subscribers. I am not interested in being invited to studios. This is what it is. If you fear that one facet of your life might collapse if you go to Bhairava, ipso facto you are disqualified from the path itself. Go back, get into your Kula Deiva sadhana. If you are not aware of who your Kula Deiva is, there is a very simple mantra that I am going to give out. You are not at all aware. Visualize a blank space. Visualize an empty Garbhagriha. Okay, you're walking into a temple now. You removed your slippers, basic respects. You hit the bell and you're walking in, but the Garbhagriha there is empty. There is nothing there. Okay, now the fear that you feel while you walk towards Bhairava, the inability for you to visualize whether he will destroy your marriage. You're hugging onto the marriage, hugging onto your job. Nothing wrong in it. You need a job to survive. You need your wife to prolong your bloodline, to have a married, happy life, to earn properties, to earn a good living, to take care. You want to see your grandkids. Nothing wrong in this. That is Brahma's design itself. Now, I cannot sit here and say that is wrong. You should sacrifice all that. Only then you can come to Bhairava. I cannot say that. However, when you say that you fear a collapse, a procedural collapse might set in your life, and you feel your life is too perfect, you might be a victim of what I would call YouTube algorithms. You might have seen the videos and thought that Bhairava might help you out. However, you are trying to be a fish while sitting comfortably in the banks of the river. The fish will die. Don't try to be a fish. Fish has to jump in. Fish has to get wet. Fish has to swim. However, there is a mindset where you think you are safe in the banks. Now, this thought itself will absolutely remove all the phala from the sadhana. There will be no fruits, because Bhairava is for those who have realized that they are in the design of Brahma. and they want to move towards the state of Sadashiva, the state of oneness with Mahadya. However, the Prakriti keeps you. So if your karma is here and you are born here to burn this and reach here, the Prakriti will continuously keep you here because still you are under the karmic shadow of your birth is, of your father. Who's your father's name? If your father's name is A, B, C, D, all his karma. His father's name, grandfather's name, won't even know. 7.5 generations worth of karma is in you. Till you reach here, you are a slave to Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Prakriti is the design that is you see around you. Everything, right from the stone to the mud, to the soil, to the water, to the rain that falls on the mud, that smell that comes when the rain hits the mud, everything is Prakriti. You are a victim to that. Bhairava sadhana is that loophole where Mahadeva himself came out and said, you unrealized creator, that you who has no idea of what you are doing here, let me give the path for somebody to directly walk towards me, negating 300 years, negating 400 years, negating 1000 years. Now, if you say that you are hugging on to, you want comforts of your home, there is nothing wrong. You're just not ready yet. And Bhairava sadhana doesn't mean that you lose your home and you lose your family. However, karmically, you are a man or a woman with so much of guts. There is no fear in your blood where you say that if a part of my life is karmic, then burn it fast. This realization is the basic eligibility to think of Bhairava as your Ishta. If you say, whereas when in a previous video I had mentioned Swami Narasimha, if he is your Kuladeva, he is completely accepting you for whatever you are. He doesn't elementally break down, and his end path, he gives eligibility to Mahakamala and eligibility to Mahavidyasarana, where ultimately you will go to Mahadya. Oneness with Sadashiva is there. However, if you don't know who your Kuladeva is, this is a first and foremost way to remove that fear. You are entering a temple premises, visualize that, walk into it, you are hitting the temple bell, then you walk up to the Garbhagriha, you see an empty Garbhagriha, fold your arms and visualize the following mantra: Om Kuladevatabhyo Namaha, Om Kuladevatabhyo Namaha, Om Kuladevatabhyo Namaha. When you visualize this mantra, irrespective of who it is, you are appropriating that Kuladeva who has given the blood. You need not visualize. You take a proper sankalpa of this, recite this mantra every day, decide and take 1.5 lakhs of japa, it's all fine. Even because I'm saying you have the fear. If you have no fear of Bhairava, if you have no fear of procedural collapse setting into your life, then you need not do this step at all. If you're sending me a mail saying that I fear that I will lose this, so yes or no, should I proceed or not, your sadhana is over. You cannot walk to Bhairava like that. You cannot say that I need to get wet. I realize that the water is I am a fish. I love water. However, will I be fine? Will I get wet? Bhairava, the one who removes fear. However, you have fear. So if any part of your life feels too dear to you and you fear losing it, there is probably a Kuladeva that you have not properly appropriated, who has not given the permission for you to enter into Bhairava sadhana itself. So what I told you, visualize the empty Garbhagriha, visualize your Kuladeva, whoever it is, be it empty itself, recite the mantra, it will give you an eligibility for you to walk in that path. However, nowadays the trend has been set in such a way, see, I have no fear of anybody, absolutely no fear of anybody shutting me down, all this reporting, all this doesn't faze me. I'll be very frank and very clear. Kala Bhairava, the one who I consider my guru right now. Of course, there have been many mentors in my life. However, as I found that my progress accelerating to such a pace that I started leaving one by one, all of them I saluted and moved on and no longer called them a guru. However, upon realization that there cannot be a bigger guru than the form that is Kala Bhairava, let me tell you, this deity is being left and right, his sadhana is being given to people who are not ready for it. So when I say Vatuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava, in Vatuka, full of prana, you are now going to cut down every desire that you have by attaining it, or else by realizing that it was never a design. You just thought that because the society said that owning ABCD is what is going to give you glory, and you thought that you have to own ABCD. Even if this thought is there within you, Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava will cut it off and accelerate you. However, for Kala Bhairava, if somebody was to approach me for the sadhana of Kala Bhairava, number one, if you are a minor, if you are dependent to with somebody, if you are a child, please do not watch these videos online. There are a lot of frauds happening. You don't need this. Just go to a temple, pray and go back home. Don't get into all this. Take care of your, become a major at least, because nowadays we are behind the veil of social media. So I cannot see, there could be somebody who's Vairagya at 7 years, but I cannot take that risk because I don't know who you are, I don't know your face. Somewhere we are all connecting to the divine consciousness, so all of the questions that you throw to Bhairava will come to my head and I might answer it, plain and simple, because he wants me to talk. That's it. Otherwise, if you are a minor, please do not assume that we have that main character syndrome where we think that we are special, and don't jump into things that you might not realize. Because the first eligibility of, if you walk up to me and say that you want guidance on Kala Bhairava sadhana, number one, he's not a chat-worthy content. He's not a content for a YouTube channel. Even Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava, the glittering views and followers, all that might make sense, but for Kala Bhairava, the name, invocation of the word Kala Bhairava by a guru who has been in his path for a very long time itself is extremely potent energy. Just like the viruses that spread through, if you cough and it spreads to somebody else, please understand, the moment somebody who has been in the path of Shri Kala Bhairava, the moment he invokes that name itself, it is extreme and complete Vairagya. How do you know that you are, generally what I like to do is, if somebody walks up to me and says, I want to do Kala Bhairava sadhana, one of the first few questions I would ask is that, number one, it is not a group sadhana. First of all, it is not a group sadhana. It is extreme and completely a lonely path. Kala Bhairava is that state of moksha, that you were still living in this body, however, you no longer attached to it at all. It is that state where you now place yourself on the funeral pyre and you watch it from 10 feet above. Describe your funeral to me. Will you be able to digest it? Will you be able to watch as they light that body which you identified, in which you walked, in which you went to the cinema theaters, in which you went to your trips, in which you got married, in which you had the child, in which you hugged your first child, in which you took the first grandchild in your hand? That body has now been placed on the funeral pyre and you are floating just about it. Above it as all your relatives sit and cry. That is your funeral. Now they are lighting it and anything and everything around you is now burning. Your hair that you identified and combed so many times with coconut oil, how many times you have massaged your head, how many times you have put shampoo, taken so much care of it, gone. It starts burning and the smell of the burning hair surrounds the environment. Then begins your skin starts burning off, peeling away as it moves further and further into the fatty tissues and moves into the blood, the veins, the nerves, and finally it comes very close to your bones and the bones begin to char, blackened. After all this is done, they will pick and throw you out. Now tell me, what is the name of that skeleton? Now if you say that I can identify, to an extent you're strong and you say that yes, I can visualize myself like that, I am ready. Now I will say, what about your son? Talk to me about the son, the daughter, the wife, the father, and the mother. Place them and tell me how it feels. Somebody who can handle these questions and realize that you are in no way attached to them anymore, that is the person who is ready for Kala Bhairava sadhana. There is absolutely a sense of detachment that sets in. The path of Shiva is opened up. That is the person who can do the full-fledged sadhana of Kala Bhairava. Otherwise, you have no business doing his Nama Japa. You have no business taking a Sankalpa for X amount of days and doing the sadhana of even a Strota. A simple recitation of Kala Bhairava Ashtakam, listen to it or even recite it, but make a salutation that I realize that I am not ready for it yet, and walk away. However, Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava does not fit in that category. He is the one who will accelerate you so that you don't come back for 3 more births just to satisfy a desire, or just to make you realize that it is still there, this desire is still there. After anybody who has done the Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava sadhana, make a step towards one of your goals. Many of you are still doing it. That is why I have not given the bija. With the bija, you will have to take one step towards a goal. It could be an exam, it could be a job that always scared you, it could be a degree that always you thought you couldn't do it. You need to take that one step. After the bija part of it is over, the phase 2, then he will tell you either you achieve it or it no longer feels relevant. So Vattuka Swarnakashna Bhairava is that level of understanding of yourself, of who you are. Your marriage is not going to break down, and if it does, he also gives you a realization that it was never meant to be, and you don't sit and mope around. So if you ask me, will my marriage break? Ipso facto, you're not eligible for this path at all. You cannot start Bhairava Sadhana with fear. You cannot start Bhairava Sadhana with fear of Bhairava. You cannot start Bhairava Sadhana fearing that you will get wet. The sadhana itself is jumping into the water, the river. It's a metaphor. You have to jump into it. But if you ask me, will this part of my life collapse? Will something happen to me? Am I eligible for this? I see you in the comment section asking whether can I start this? How about this? All ineligible. I haven't. Please understand. I'm not sitting in a studio. There is absolutely nothing that I'm going to pretend in front of you. If this is the way to do it, that is the way to do it. There is no point to tell me, okay, you start, then you start, okay, whenever you feel comfortable, you start. All that doesn't work. Doesn't work with Bhairava. That is your very clear indication that you need to go back to the beginning and start from, probably try and take a diksha of Sri Ganesha. Just come and then identify with Sri Krishna. And that is how you come. Many of you have jumped into Bhairava Sadhana, however, you're not ready to visualize yourself on the funeral pyre. Kala Bhairava is completely about the funeral pyre. There are gurus right now who are in the first birth of sitting in a smashana. In this birth, they are going and sitting in a smashana. They are just starting the state of being in Kala Bhairava. You will not have any interest in anything at all in life, but life will still continue. Your Shakti will be so much, if your Ishta is Kala Bhairava, your Vairagya will be so much that literally the most powerful people might try to reach out to you, will not even want to pick up their phones. That level of Vairagya, it is not arrogance, because you know that even he will burn one day. Ultimately, the burning on the funeral pile is the ultimate goal. If that is the ultimate destination where everyone is going, I am going towards that moment where I am going to visualize myself floating above it, and then I control my next birth. So what is moksha? He's already mokshit. He's already done it. The Kala Bhairava Sadhak who has attained success in his path has already attained moksha. He's already at a state of moksha. Now he's just, see, till your karma is here and you are here, born to attain this state, the Kala Bhairava Sadhak, the moment he touches here itself, he is more or less caught up with his karma. The chakra is more or less over, and as he becomes equal, Prakriti, what you see around you is now in your control. Until then, it reacts to your karma. Today there is this problem, tomorrow that job issue, tomorrow you have this problem, day after tomorrow you have that problem. All that is the Prakriti putting things onto you so that the karmic burning continues. The moment you touched and come on par with your karma, the Prakriti no longer can control you. And you go above it, you control the Prakriti. If you have another 50 years of life left, you are completely in control of your Prakriti. Chances of incurring karma is zero, because there is no desire anymore. Only if you desire, you will go and do something, right? Everything will be dharma. Everything you do, the Prakriti will put a specific moment, so that if you are going and getting into a fight with somebody, even then the Prakriti will ensure that you don't incur karma out of it. You're beautifully placed above. So Prakriti will give you, for example, in my own life, even in sadhana path itself, if anybody, if I can openly talk about, say that person is wrong, Prakriti would have already ensured that that person has wronged me. Hence which I get the adhikara to criticize them openly, and nothing, I will do not incur the karma or papa karma or the prayogas, nothing will have any impact on me. Why? Very simple. It's very simple that I now am above the karma, by which I am no longer a slave to the Prakriti and the Mrityuloka itself. However, I am existing here as an Amsha of Kala Bhairava itself. When you are Amsha of Kala Bhairava itself, you are like a living, breathing entity of the deity. You are living and walking and breathing and eating and looking around as the deity itself. So the more and more you become recluse and start moving away from people as much as possible. Otherwise, unless and until there is a dharmic reason why you are meant to come and talk to people. Otherwise, there is no reason. So these sort of basic understanding, please do not, there's nothing, or give me a mantra, all this, like, doesn't work. There are only specific branches of deities whose mantras, like they say that Kali Yuga, the impact is such that the mantras are weakened, the body of the deities are weakened. So if 2000 or 10,000 years back, a Bija mantra could be recited 10 times and you will get this benefit. However, now you are going to do 4 times. You know, the theory is there in our historical records also that you need to do 4 times, you need to do 10 times. There are some parts of Shakti where the mantra is still intact, and that is Mahadya. The mantras of Mahadya are still intact and the Prakriti has not had any impact on them. So, if you still do, if you see the Om Mahadya E Namaha, that mantra is so powerful that I am starting to receive emails from many of you that the moment I started saying that on my channel, you guys are not able to stop saying it. And it feels so good because even one Ucharana is still very powerful because she cannot be moved. She cannot be shaken. She is Adya, she is the creator of Brahma, she is the creator of Mahesha, she is the creator of Mahavishnu in the Shakti Patha, she is the greatest. There is nothing above her and she embodies Sadashiva fully. And she stands on him, she is embodying him fully. So she is not the divine feminine, she is divine feminine and divine masculine within one, she is Adya. So some of the mantras are weak, and however, just by taking up a mantra from somebody and reciting doesn't mean it will work out because the body itself is not in tune with the mantra at all. Vairagya, I was talking to somebody and they said that they are like towards their late 20s and it is too young for me to get into Vairagya. Let me tell you, this is absolute, complete collapse of the Kula. Kula Deiva is probably the one who's stopping it. This sort of talk itself. So if I tell you that if you attain Vairagya at the age of 7, you will know which school to study in. You will know which friend will be there with you for the next 50 years. You will know whom to marry. You will know which stream of education to take. You will know which deity to go to. You will know what mantra to do. You will know how much time to spend in front of the television and how much time to sit in front of deeper states of meditation. Vairagya at 7. What is Vairagya? Vairagya is just basically unplugging from the Mrityu Loka and realizing that there is something else within, that the body is a yantra. For higher realization, Vairagya is realizing what your past birth was and how you want to manipulate your future birth. Vairagya is that moment when your body burns, your flesh is moving out of the bones and you are floating above the body and looking down at it. That is Vairagya. That state, attaining that state, Vairagya is that higher self which is no longer attached to the body. It is not like living as a monk. Definition of a monk itself is you don't have to be a monk. You are a monk, but you will still live your life. So Vairagya at 7 is like somebody who is very, very blessed. Vairagya at 27 is too late already. Vairagya at 40 is again late. Vairagya at 50 is very, very late. But karmically, this is where it is. The faster you reach your karma and go on par, the faster it is that you can attach your higher self. Who is a higher self? He knows what is going to happen 300 years later. He knows what is going to happen 1000 years later. So if your path is Bhairava and you get into it with fear, there is nothing that you can achieve in this path and it is closed to you. The moment somebody says that I feel afraid, I feel that probably I should not take the bija, it feel like my Kula will collapse, gone. That is very clearly that you are not talking. Prakriti has already told you, don't do it. You are not ready for it. Listen to that voice. And let me tell you, if this channel gets around 15 to 20 subscribers per day, I block at least 5 people because I'm not here to make bigger groups. I don't want a bigger group. I don't want 1 crore japa, 2 crore japa kar liya. No use nahi hai. Bhairava is not for everybody. Bhairava is for that person who says that I want to attain Vairagya, I'm going to jump into the water but not waiting outside the bank thinking whether I will lose something small. That is, you are at a very, very nascent stage. I have already put the video on the yugas. You are in Satyuga. Your soul has to now go through, it has to burn a lot of karma here and you're here. If you say that, what if I lose my marriage? I'm talking about that deity who is going to control your rebirth. And moksha is not a stage where you will never come back again. There will be dharmic reasons why you will keep coming back and not now. There are great saints who will be able to choose and time their entry into the birth again. They will choose their father, they will choose their mother in the perfect setup where they will be able to take a rebirth. Little bit of karma they might have, they will also burn it and then they will again do the pracharana of Mahadya, put her name through and get people to hear about it. They might not even be placed in a place where you will be able to meet them. This is what Bhairava path is. Bhairava is the collapse of the fear of the Mrityu Loka. So if you say that you are afraid of your life collapsing, by default, number one, you should be able to realize that it is not true. Number two, if you still have that fear, he might not be your Ishta. Just go to a temple, pray to him and walk off. That too, Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava, if you are afraid, that is the king of the samsara. If you are living in samsara, if you are living in an established society, if you are living you are having a job, you are having your goals, dreams, family, daughter, son, you have an interest to prolong your bloodline and also to check whether you are eligible for Kala Bhairava sadhana, this is the form you go after. He is Kala Bhairava only, however, the one that shows you what all is there inside you, hidden somewhere. So if you email me saying that you're afraid, my first advice would be don't do it. That is not your path at all. And then forget about Kala Bhairava. Kala Bhairava is that state where kuch bhi nahi hai, like nothing makes sense to you other than him, and the path that is your next life to manipulate the state of moksha, to attain the state of moksha by living and breathing and walking. You are an entity, an amsha of Kashi itself. It is not like you go to him and one fine day, you attain moksha. You are living and breathing. Your karma is here. You come all the way till here. That is when you will be able to even think of Kala Bhairava. So somebody who is afraid of Swarna Krishna Bhairava, karma yahan pe, you are somewhere around here. Might not even happen in a couple of births. Whatever video you are hearing here might reflect you in another birth. It is still education. You can still take it. It is still going to be of use, but not in this birth. The moment a mildest fear shows up, immediately invoke Bhairava and say that, see, I am showing fear. Please hold me. Please hold me and take me. I don't want to be a victim to this fear. Bhairava is the destruction of fear within the Mrityu Loka. It is not destruction of fear to go into a battle. So, to tell you, I thought very soon I will be posting the sadhana of Ma Adya Kali. I thought I'll tell you a small story about my own life and how she has interacted. So, Kala Bhairava as a base for Kala Bhairava Bharya, wife of Kala Bhairava. Vattuka Bhairava Bharya, wife of Vattuka Bhairava. So both are the same forms. Vattuka goes through all the phases and attains and sits down as Kala Bhairava. When he sits down as Kala Bhairava, Mahadeva makes that geographical location another amsha of Kailasa, and he sits down. So that is Kashi. So the moment you attain oneness with Kala Bhairava itself, you are at a state of Kashi. You are a living, breathing, walking Kashi. Okay, this I've said many times before. However, it is Bhairava that who will give you the pedestal to go higher and higher in the Shakti sadhana itself. Whichever be the form, without Bhairava as the architect of Shakti Patha itself, how to traverse towards Shakti. So as Kali Yuga becomes stronger and stronger, and Kali destroys the ability of mantras to come out, because the air itself is so full of pollution. Your breath is weak, your lungs are weak, everything is weakening. It is Bhairava who will give you the adhikar and adhara to sit and go towards the path of Shakti. However, if it is Ma Adhya, the ultimate creator, her mantras are still so strong that she will give extreme vairagya to move towards the path of moksha. Her mantras are still, her mere nama japa is still too strong, because she walks and moves. Her entire energy is, it cannot be removed by any asura or any design of Brahma. Ma Adya cannot be weakened, because she is the creator itself. She is not a Shakti Pida, she is not a Mahavidya, she is the one who created all of this. Okay, so Kala Bhairava will give you the adhara to go faster in her path, number one. If you still choose that you want to go to her directly, it is still very much relevant. The sadhana that I will be releasing very soon, it will be a stava. An X number of repetitions will have to be done, and we'll also it will not be very easy. It is slightly difficult. However, it is solely to be taken as a sankalpa to realize. The goal is to realize which is your divine feminine form. If it is Adya, then yes, you will go faster towards that state. But she is very kind. She is the creator of the Shakti Pidas and the creator of the Mahavidya. She will drop you at that place where you think, where she knows that you will survive. However, you cannot go to Kala Bhairava, who is a deity who is sitting in a specific form for a specific purpose, and tell him that give me all this. It will not work at all. He is extreme state of Vairagya. There cannot be higher Vairagya than him. So you walk up to him and you think that you want to take care of your life while you're talking about moksha, while you're talking about exit from the human body is what he is all about. He is about manipulating a next birth, taking better births, taking control on when you will reappear, when you will attain oneness with Mahadeva, all this. You cannot ask him for anything other than moksha. When you walk towards Kala Bhairava, it is a war that you are howling into a path of war and saying that accelerate me towards this, put me on a par with my karma, and I want to beat it and break it down. That is a war cry. Kala Bhairava is a war cry. Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava makes you slowly realize who you are. It is slower. He gives you everything that in your mind, be it spiritual knowledge, be it health, be it wealth, whatever it is. Mildly he opens your mind and allows your jiva to open up slightly so that it receives inputs from the Deva Loka. So as you go higher and higher in the path of sadhana, so many of you have been texting me, why is it that I am most of the questions that you have is being answered? What is the Manasik Guru? So this is also very beautifully encompassed in a scientific experiment itself that has very beautifully answered this question. So, these babies who are like 10 months old who have not yet started to walk. So, they make the baby stand. They are standing, but they need to hold something, only then they can walk, otherwise they'll fall down. However, to the baby, this experiment says that you give them two balls to hold. So, now they're holding the ball and they start walking. They don't fall at all. The babies who are not yet walking, they can walk only if you hold their finger and make them walk. Those babies, if you make them stand and give them two balls, which they're holding now, they start walking. That ball is not connected to anything. That ball is not even giving them stability. Their hand is only holding the ball. However, they are able to walk. How? This is the Manasik Guru. The Manasik Guru holds your hand. The Manasik Guru allows you to connect to his state of consciousness. By his sadhana, he has attained a certain level. See, as your sadhana widens and widens, when somebody is walking through the circle of aura that is around you, you can get the vibrations from them. You will be able to see who they are, who they were. What is the thought that will definitely disturb them? How is their eye moving? How is their body shaped? The way they have combed their hair, everything will start giving you inputs. The Prakriti starts talking to you about that person. However, you go deeper and deeper into sadhana, your aura will be so big that it will start touching the akasha. And then, let me tell you, every thought that you send out, every mantra that is being spoken, every bad word that is being uttered, every curse that is being put out, every horn that is being honked on the streets, everything lingers in the atmosphere. Everything lingers in the atmosphere for a certain state before it dissipates and becomes part of the Prakriti. So as your aura goes higher and higher and higher, you will be able to attain that which is in the Akasha. The most powerful tattva is Akash. That is what is that mild barrier that separates us and from the Devas. That is highest state of Prakriti is the Akasha. So as you go higher and higher, if your Guru is really a realized person, his knowledge no longer comes from what somebody else has written. I don't read anybody's books, because if I read my books, I will connect to that person, and I don't want to connect to that person. I want to connect to that source which that person connected to, and I will use my sadhana and my vairagya and my ability to influence my deity to take the knowledge from there. So that is what you should be doing. So when you hold the two balls, like the baby has held two balls in his hand, but he's able to walk, even though no adult is holding it. Just the ball has given him, the mind has now realized that it is holding something and it is able to walk. However, what he is holding is not having no adhara. However, there is no Guru in front of him who is holding his hand and making him walk. But the baby held the ball, just two toys. Ball is just an example. Even if you give them two pieces of cloth also, if the moment it holds the baby, it starts walking. So that is the Manasik Guru. So it is all a state of divine consciousness, but once you connect to the Guru and the Guru is connected to a higher state, everything starts downloading very fast, which is why your sadhana starts to take off. So the right guru has to be invoked, the right guru has to be placed in as a Manasik guru, and your path will be extraordinarily fast. Can everybody visualize Kala Bhairava as their guru? Now, for that, the answer I've already given. Can you visualize yourself on the funeral pyre? If that creates fear, if the smell of the burning hair, if the smell of the burning flesh creates fear, then you're not ready for it, because that is where he sits. He does not sit at that where it is the most comfortable for your human body. He sits that where the human body itself has gone, that state. So, Kala Bhairava as a guru, you can call upon, but make sure you're ready for the pace at which he will accelerate you. The one who can take up somebody like a deity like Kala Bhairava as the guru will be extraordinary. That person would not be in the first path of sadhana. Bhairava would be everywhere in his life. Procedural collapse will be everywhere in his life. His eyesight is powerful, can destroy people's life. His even adharma cannot roam in anywhere in his in the surrounding. Also adharma cannot exist. They will get crumbled. Mere thought of him and adharma cannot happen in the same sentence. He will not be interested in clubbing with anybody, any human he will not worship, any human he will not praise. He will simply be walking in the path of Vairagya. That is the one who will be fit to call upon Kala Bhairava as the guru. So this is another question I had received. Can I call Kala Bhairava, Shri Kala Bhairava as the guru? Please understand, Kala Bhairava can be a guru, but you should also be able to attain that state of Vairagya, which is too much for 99.9% of the people in this path. Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava comes under the family of Vattuka, and he will take you to the highest. Once you realize that, then there is fastest acceleration towards Kala Bhairava only. So, if you have a daughter and you say that she is 8 years old, and in 15-20 years you visualize her in a grand marriage. Here's an example, because I faced this very recently. Somebody who wanted to go in the path of Shiva, I asked him one question. You want Vairagya, you want detachment, but you have an 8-year-old daughter. Tell me, when the girl is 25, would you be at a state where you don't want to visit her marriage? How will you be able to handle that? He was not able to answer that question. It was too much for him. So that person, I have told him, go to Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava. He will, let it take even 20 years in his path also, but one day it will be like it's over and you will only see Kala Bhairava. What is the rush? Why do you want it today? Why is a 17-year-old boy talking about Kala Bhairava? Why is a 20-year-old boy talking about Kala Bhairava? Either he is extremely realized, extremely there, or he is being prodded through these algorithms. Realize who you are. Do not rush into Kala Bhairava. He is too extreme for 99.9% of you. It is not meant for it. If you're a minor, listen to your parents. You might be that one person in a crore who at the age of 7 or 10 itself is wanting to walk in the path of Kala Bhairava, and then yes, Prakriti will ensure that you go to the right guru. You don't search for the guru. You don't have to contact him. Prakriti will ensure when you are ready, you will be taken to that guru. Don't be in his quest. Okay. I, on the other hand, I am not looking specifically to meet people or interact. If such a need occurs, I will definitely travel. However, there is no urge for me to meet people, because meeting with anybody is exchange of aura, and the divine goal that I feel I have right now will get disturbed. So meeting people is not something on the chart right now. However, please understand who Kala Bhairava is and why Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava will suit almost everybody who wants to go in the path of Bhairava. Almost everybody. Highest state of samsara. Okay. Then coming to a small story. So preparing you for the video that I will be uploading very soon, I want to talk about Ma's Vigraha. So I had put a photo of a smaller Vigraha whose worship I used to do for 4 specific forms of Ma Kali. Progress was immense, the offerings were immense, life was going really extremely, Prakriti was molding towards me. And one fine day I just woke up and decided that I want to bring her in a bigger Vigraha, and she is waiting somewhere for me. This feeling, she started calling me. Before that, before bringing Ma's smaller Vigraha home, I used to go to, I told you, there is one small kshetra, you cannot even call it a kshetra, a small kshetra somewhere in the middle of a very foresty, dense location on one of the popular highways in Tamil Nadu. There is Kshetra is there. So I had visited there. Whenever I would visit there, the place was so full of lower Shaktis that your keys will disappear. The person living, it is a Siddhar Samadhi, Jala Samadhi of 3 Siddhars. Okay, so the person living there is also very much under the influence of Ma Kali. However, he's not that realized. He's more like a pujari. He'll do all the dhupas, abhishek and all he'll do, but his enlightenment levels are very low. And still the Mooladhara is misfiring, because of which he gets all these urges and all that. But let's not get into his subject, because if the video becomes too popular, I don't want his life to crumble. So this is the same place that I told you that there is this palm leaf inscription done by the Siddhar before they passed away a few centuries back. They are very clearly mentioned in 2023. There will be somebody who will be known for taking the name of Ma Kali, and he will come here and he will visit this place. All this is mentioned, but this person who's so full of greed for money, he did not even visualize that as me. He is showing it to somebody else while I am standing there. He did not even show it to me, and I am like, kya Maya? This is Maya. This is how she protects. If Prakriti has decided that it needs to keep you safe, it will pluck you from the crowds of 1,000 dishonest men and take you away. That is Prakriti. So when you are being brutally plucked out of certain scenarios in life, please understand that the Prakriti is taking you away because you're meant for some other path. So the person who has been interacting with me, who saw my horoscope, my eligibility for formation of temples, the eligibility to do Kumbhabhisheka for temples, all this is mentioned in the horoscope. However, he could not visualize that I could be that person mentioned in 2023. And he also, the people that I took over there, coming from USA and all, they know dollars. He thought that the one who carried dollars would be that person. He's showing to them, could be you. He's showing to the person who has come from USA, saying that it could be you. You could be the person who's mentioned, so you take care of this temple. He did not even ask me that. So I took that as an affirmation and I continued in my life. So one fine day, after I had detached from all these people, I had stopped traveling. I was in my own world, fully in the sadhana path only. I realized that again she's calling me from somewhere in that path, that specific location on that highway. She's calling me. I did not know what it is. I just took my car and started traveling just like that. I had decided that there is a Vigraha somewhere waiting for me, and she's calling, and it is a big Vigraha. I started, so the specific road in Chennai, which is known for to have sculptures, there are sculptures who make, they send it all over the world actually. That entire road is full of sculptures, and I was going to shop after shop. First shop I went, I asked them, do you have a Ma Kali Vigraha? He said no. Now, please understand how Ma Adhya is. She is not reactive. She is before you. Okay, so if she has decided something for you, 3-4 years back itself, she would have placed those, like treasure hunt, she would have placed everything there. So when I walk into each of these shop asking for a specific Vigraha, which is constantly pulling me to this road, I'm not even having a proper visualization on how it would look, but I know for sure that she's already here, and that it is not that I will give an order for a Vigraha and they will make it and give it after 3 months. No, it is there already. Shop after shop I'm going, because that entire stretch for the next 10 to 15 kilometers will have these shops. Every shop I go, they say that they'll need X amount of time. Okay, what height you want? 4 feet. Okay, we will give it to you. This is the budget, 50,000, 1 lakh, all this they're quoting, and everywhere I'm just saying my pranams and walking out, shop after shop. And finally I realized that I've come to a point where the final left has been taken, and now if I go another 5-6 kilometers on the highway, I will reach that Kshetra in the middle of the forest only. I'm wondering again, are you calling me? It is you that's calling me again, or is there really a Vigraha? Few more shops left. So I got into one shop, they had a ready Mahakali Vigraha, but the moment I saw it, there was no Shakti in it. It is made up to this modern mindset of angry goddess, multiple hands. That is how they can visualize. However, Ma Adhya is Chaturbhuja, 4 hands. Okay, this is exact form. I'm looking at that, I'm wondering, is this the Vigraha that's calling me? I'm not feeling that Shakti. Something is missing. Okay, I said, give me a number, just give me some time. Anyway, the Vigraha is ready. If I wanted, I can call you and you can, we can talk about the process of installation, Prana Pratishta. They have to open the eyes and all that. that is done by the Sthapatis who are from a specific class of people who have the adhikara to do this. Okay, so but something told me that she is somewhere very close. Now my question is, I have been going for so many years to all these kshetras in that road. Is it the kshetra calling me, or is it something else? Just two shops. I didn't even, so each shop I was taking my car and going one by one. So this time I didn't even take my car, I just walked. Kept on walking, and then finally somewhere I felt this extreme vibrations, and I just stopped there. There was a guy sitting in front of that sculpture place, so full of statues and all for delivery. They have kept full loaded, packed with statues. So I'm just standing there. I asked him, do you have a Ma Kali Vigraha? And he just pointed to the entrance of the shop. Entrance of the shop, there is a Vigraha full of dust and dirt, and you can see the rainwater has fallen. Because of that, you can see the marks on that, the green marks, moss that collects algae. You can see the Vigraha standing, and then Ma Kali Vigraha. And I asked, yeah, I want a Vigraha like this. Got into the details. He said that this is not for sale. This Vigraha is I will make and give you. I said, no. What is the cost? When did you make this Vigraha? I asked him. I could sense that he was not okay, because he wants to make the sale, number one. But if he tells me, because for temples you will always give fresh order only. You will not take an old Vigraha and simply buy and keep. For temple, the temple pujari will come with the temple trustees. They will go to the sculpture, give a formal order, tell them how it is. He will draw and show them. They will visualize. If that is the Amma that has shown visibility in their thoughts, then they will say, yes, we want this, and it will take 3 months. If it's a very big Vigraha, it could take more than 3 months. And if a minor mistake also happens while chiseling, they have to throw away the stone and make it again. So this is how temple Vigrahas are ordered. So he's very confused. You are saying you are having a temple, but you are not giving order. You want this Vigraha. You are saying yes. And I am more curious to ask him, when did you make this Vigraha? Now he's confused. On one side, he wants to do the sale, because somebody has come, an old Vigraha is here. If he says that it is too old, temple mindset people will not even touch it. If he says it's just a little old, he says, no. Well, you tell me exactly how old this is. Now he is in confusion. He says, okay, I'll be very honest. Do you want an old Vigraham, or do you want a new Vigraham? I said, it is Kali. She is already there. If she has decided to come to my house today, she would have come and started waiting many years back. So you tell me exactly how old is the Vigraha? He said it is pre-corona. The Vigraha was specifically ordered by a tantric temple in another country. However, due to corona, it could not be transported. So they had just kept her there as a demo. The beauty of the Vigraha, this Ma Vigraha, was so much that he was able to get multiple orders. More than 10 exports he has done of the same Ma. Some of them wanted Mahadeva underneath her. Some of them wanted a skeleton where she's holding on a skeleton for specific, Spashana Kali. They wanted, they have been giving order and taking, but he used her as the model. Then I told him that, okay, after corona, why you didn't sell her? Why you didn't sell this Vigraha? He said there is a crack. Okay, on this side of the Vigraha, on the base there is a crack, because of which nobody was taking her. So I also saw the crack. And he has also chained a lion. This lion is chained to the Vigraha. And you see that blood that is flowing from the Asura's head into the bowl. They had put a chain and tied the lion, locked the lion to that. So I said, why have you locked that? Is somebody trying to steal Ma Kali? Nobody will steal Ma Kali. Nobody has the guts to take Ma Kali and run away. However, we are protecting the lion, so we have put the chain around it. Okay, so things got, discussions all happened, and finally he agreed to give us. So this is how Ma Kali is. If she has decided to come to your house, she will already be there somewhere. She will already be waiting for you. You only have to go and reach her. It is not like you go and give an order. Ma Kali, especially Mahadya, she would have placed herself in a specific point and she'll be waiting for you. For almost 4 years, I have been crossing this Vigraha every day in quest of her to that temple, this Kshetra, that road, everywhere I'm going. She was at the entrance of that place looking at me, probably laughing. This fool doesn't realize that finally I am the one who's going to come home. So that's why I call her Adya. The Vigraha was already waiting for me. It is not a new Vigraha. So on the 48th day of my son's birth, second son's birth, they had to do the pedestal was not ready. So the pedestal and all had to be prepared, and some 3-4 days later, finally, Ma was, on a Saturday, they loaded her onto the truck and she was brought home. While coming home and she was placed on the pedestal, we could no longer, if you come today, you cannot see the crack. You can no longer see the crack on the Vigraha. The crack because of which he could not sell after Corona, this Vigraha became a sample and was waiting there for me. That crack is no longer seen. I will allow you to fully inspect. Even the Sthapati comes also, he can no longer see that crack on the Vigraha. Because a cracked Vigraha cannot be bought by anybody. So even after Corona was lifted, this Vigraha became a sample because of the crack. And he made a new Vigraha and gave it to that temple in Malaysia, which is a Tantric temple. An exact model of this is there. 10 more he has made. He showed me the receipts. With this Vigraha as a model, I have sold over 10. Some might need Mahadeva, some might need a skeleton, Smashana Kali or hand, leg on the skeleton, all that they have taken, but this Vigraha I could never sell. But from his mouth, he is not able to say that it's because of the crack nobody will buy. Because he fears that if he says that, I will not buy. I am not like that. I know she has called me. Out of nowhere, I just got up and started driving, searching. Ultimately, the road that I have been going in search of her for years, she was sitting over there. And till that day, I have not seen her. And not just that, I had only placed the order for Ma Kali Vigraha with the pedestal. Once ready, you send it to me immediately. I need to do the Prana Pratishtha. She has been waiting for me. In my thought, in my sleep and everywhere, even my waking moments, this line kept on coming to my head. So I did one thing, I called him and said, what about the lion? Why have you changed the lion? You said that to protect the lion, you have changed it with Ma Kali. For 4 years you changed it. Yes, for 4 full years I have changed. What happened was that I created 2 lions. One, which is a pair. So what this specific form of lion is not what you would generally find in as a Vahana of Ma Kali. So this specific form is usually kept at the entrances of temples. Okay. The other one got cracked and broken, so single piece nobody is buying. So when they come, they placed the order for 2 pieces. So again, this lion also was with her for 4 years. And he said that I was also wondering, for 4 years she has stood in front of my shop and guarded my shop, taken care of me, kept me really well. I was doing so well in life. I feel that she is my greatest luck. However, this lion alone, after moving Ma for fixing up the pedestal and all, this lion was standing there alone. I was feeling so sad. I said that I will take the lion also, and we did the Prana Pratishtha of the lion also with Ma. So 4 years she has been waiting in that spot, in sun, in rain, in so many cyclones have come and gone. She has been standing there with this lion in the same form. So Ma Kali, once she chooses you, she will wait for you. She will take care of everything in your life, and finally, when the time is right, when you have finally come and on par with Prakriti, she will just pull you in. So that is my story with this Vigraha. I didn't go in quest of her. Now, video is going a little longer, but there's one more story. So upon realization that I would need a khadga, I placed an order with somebody who's whose family is into generationally making of the khadga for various pithas in Bengal. Okay, so I placed an order with this person, and he also sent me the khadga. However, the bali, the one in which you have to place the neck of the goat and give the bali, that I never placed the order, because giving of the bali is something that I've done for many lifetimes. However, right now I needed the khadga, but okay, I don't want to go into the details of the vidhi that I do every day. But okay, since the khadga had come, and khadga is for the bali only. When the day she gives the adesh, I might have to do it. So I just kept it safe. The khadga gets its own ritualistic worship done. And the person who sold the khadga, finally he calls. On the day the khadga reached, it reached 25 days late. It was simply lying in the courier office. So we never specifically force anybody to send it on urgent. It will come when it has to come. That is Ma Kali. Only the day you are meant to have it, it will come. So it came. The same day the guy called and said, see, I sent it 20 days back. You never even gave a feedback on the khadga. I said, I received it only today. Correctly, you called me. So what is it? I asked him. So he said that the bali pidha, the one in which you please keep the goat's head, even that I have to give you. One is there. Why don't I sell it to you? So I said, okay. Since you have called on the exact date, even though the courier is delayed, correctly you called me on the same date that I received it, probably it's a message, and I sent the money to him. However, the guy turned out to be a little bit of lacking of ethics, so he took the money and very gladly he forgot all about it. It happens, right? Today in everywhere you find dishonest men and women. I, on the other hand, upon placing of the order of the Bali, I had already made a sankalpa also that I will do the Bali, because I did not order the Bali, the Pidha, but coincidences were too strong. So I took the sankalpa that on next day I will do this one. This guy just took the money and he forgot all about it, and he decided to be casual. Probably he's not a very ethical business guy. However, he's in this path of Ma Kali, and he has been doing this for years and years. Everywhere he's been selling to all the Ma Tara Kshetras, all the Bagalamukhi Kshetras. Everywhere he's sending very happily, no issues. However, he's very, very loose-minded, but he has no realization that I'm not placing an order from a house. It's not a puja room from where I'm placing the order. It is a Madhya Pitha. He doesn't know this. Days pass and this fellow never couriers it, and I am not of somebody who will continuously call and ask, because I know that when the time is right, she will send it. If I am meant to do it, she will send it. I paid it. He is absolutely not responding or even bothering to inform on whether he has courier or not. I am not calling him. Day 44th day after the Khadga is when we had planned that probably if Ma wants it, we will make a Bali. Okay. 22nd day, no message, nothing. So what I do is, I get a message in my meditation that call him 22 times. So I give him 22 missed calls. He doesn't pick up. By now I've already realized that things are going to go wrong, and I'm already fighting with her. What sort of Shakti you are? You are a goddess. You are the greatest of the great. I'm sitting here for so many years without moving from your this one, not traveling, not away from the samsaric life itself, and the Bali Pidha itself somebody is not sending to me. Then am I unfit, or are you saying that you are not? Am I praying to stone? Are you just a stone? So this sort of fights have full-fledged started in the Garbhagriha now. Me and her are full-fledged in war now. Happens. In the Shakti path, you will find a lot of emotions bursting out, and she is truly a mother embodiment, and she will take care of you like that. So I am in full-fledged fight with Ma Kali right now in this Garbhagriha, sitting and asking that are you saying, number one, am I unfit? Number two, are you just a stone? Number three, is all my puja in vain? Because even after taking a sankalpa, I'm not even, somebody was able to cheat me like this, just like that. So finally, as the final days of the Bali nears, I finally write a post on his profile, the person's profile, and say that, see, in the name of Ma, you're stealing money. Your entire bloodline will be in trouble. Please be careful. I sent that message, not on Facebook, on a voice clip I sent to his WhatsApp, because he's not picking my phone anymore. 5,000 rupees only. Rupee, what is the value of money? Is nothing. So immediately he calls me. And he starts full-fledged begging, literally. He says, now I understand what has happened. I said, what are you blabbering? He says that I want to come to your Pidha and fall on your feet. He says, calm down, what happened? He said, the day I took the money from you, I never bothered to immediately pack the thing. The next day he cut his finger, and he was no longer able to build anything else in his shop. Neither was he able to make the khadgas. Neither was he even able to put the handle for the khadgas. And it has been that bad. And he took a video call and showed me all the khadgas, and nothing is selling anymore. His entire business has come to a halt, and he's not able to understand what has happened. Then his father passed away, because of which he cannot touch or sell anything for 30 days. 15th day he takes the adhikara from his local temple purohit. They have done everything, and they say that at least they can courier his things. His uncle passes away. 2 Balis, 2 deaths. Severed finger of somebody who uses his hands only to make all this. Father passes away. They're all in the same, in this, that the job itself is this. For generationally, this is their only career. Uncle passes away again in the same path. The family has lost 2 of their main men in a single house, and he's not able to understand what is happening. He says that every Saturday I'm running to all Ma Pidas and giving Bali in fear on what is happening. Now I understand it is you. I said, I didn't do anything. But I did tell Ma that you are such a goddess and you don't even take care of your devotees, Sankalpa. What sort of goddess you are? This level of fight definitely I've been having. So this guy says that now I will go to my temple and I will send you the khadga that we use every Saturday to make bali after bali for Ma. Please take it as my salutations and take me as a shishya. He says, see, now I cannot take anything from you because you have shown insincerity. There is no way I'll take the samagri or this khadga. If you want to send it. If it reaches me, I will place it at her feet. As simple as that. However, I will not be able to take the khadga, the pitha that I had ordered from you. Take the 5,000 and take care of your family expenses. Be sincere to Ma and make a proper shama prathana, because you must have sold thousands and thousands of things, but you did not realize who sits here. So in very simple way, the bali has already been taken. You have to be. That is how adharma cannot exist anywhere near Ma Kali. The moment you take her name in vain, the moment you try to push your position here and there, you might have been in the path for 300 centuries of bloodline you worship, and she will destroy your bloodline like this. I also told him immediately, please take care of your children, take them to the Ma Pitha. Even from my side, I will initiate a Shama Prathana so that you do not get completely destroyed. Please understand and be sincere in this. You must have sold thousands of swords, but you did not understand the sword that you gave to me was sitting in the feet of Ma Adhya. Nobody can save you. Be careful. Be very sincere. Then he said that you refer more business to me. I can see. Somebody insincere, no matter how much of bali you give, no matter how many temples you go to, there is no hope for you. I cannot take you as a shishya and all. You do your Shama Prathana. I will also from my side say that I realize that the bali is over. It is done. And I will no longer give a bali here. Just a small story of, there are so many stories of miracles happening in this Garbhagriha of Ma Vigraha. She has been waiting for me on the same road that I was searching for her for 4 years. I never saw her. She has been smiling and laughing at me. Every time I ask her something, immediately she will deliver it. But the thing is that you have to rise up to the karma, be on par with the karma and be above your karma, and then the Prakriti will react to you. The Prakriti, then you are in control of the Prakriti and you are not a slave to Prakriti. This is the message in this. So after 2 deaths and 1 severed finger, the guy realizes that every order that you might have sold thousands of khadgas and bali pithas, but please don't take any order lightly. This one came from Pitha. And then I sent him my page and all. He realized what I've kept, and he says that he will come and visit me after a certain period after his uncle's death. The Sutak period is complete, he will be coming. So just a small story to tell you how magnanimous she is and how much she takes care of the mildest emotions of the devotee. So anyone who has realized the beauty of Ma Kali, please understand, she will even take care of the mild emotions. You sit and cry in front of her, she will break down buildings for you. She will send people running. That much she will take care of her devotee. So I have been full-fledged over the moment I thought that, okay, in your name I ordered something, they have not even sent it there. Either I am a fool who's praying to a stone, or else you don't even exist. That level of emotion, of course, still we come every day, still we sit and pray, still do the rituals, still do the mala, everything we still do, but emotions, like we don't creep to other human beings because Ma is Ma. If you creep to a human being, insulting your deity. So I didn't creep to any human being, nor did I chase after him. I got a message that on 22nd day it sent him 22 missed calls. I did it. I forgot to say that. I did it, and that day also he has had an accident. We were able to match that. I told you for a second also you were not able to visualize that there is a pending order from a Pitha. He said, I didn't know it's a Pitha. He said, I just thought it is somebody somewhere has made an order, and generally I send all orders 30-40 days delayed only because I'm not a big businessman and all that. See, I told you one thing. I told him only one thing. Next time somebody places an order, be very sincere to the bloodline. You are in this bloodline of making mass puja samagri, be very sincere. If any sincere, you must have done it for 10,000, but one sincere devotee you touch, game over. Nobody on earth, nobody and no deity can save you from the wrath of Ma Kali. Nobody. Architect of Shaktipitas and the Guru of the Mahavidyas. embodiment of Mahadeva as well as Shakti. Adya embodies Mahadeva and Shakti. She is the one who created the Trimurti, who will come and save you. At the same time, if you go walk in the path of Dharma, as a drop of adharma also cannot come before you, but you need to accelerate towards Prakriti, Karma, and become the master of Prakriti and not be a slave to it. So this story was just about that. So I did not do any bali, but she took it. I think we are done for today. Very soon I will be releasing the Adhyakali sadhana. Take it only for a sankalpa, and even if you are not able to take it, observe it, understand what it is. If you feel you can take it, take it. Otherwise, leave it. There is no compulsion. You can recite the stava that I release with it daily once also, just like the Kala Bhairava Ashtakam also. Do Kala Bhairava sadhana only if you realize who he is, not because it is cool. Remember the example I told you about the funeral pyre. That is your understanding of whether you are eligible or not. Swarna Krishna Bhairava sadhana, Vattuka Swarna Krishna Bhairava, as long as he doesn't create fear in you. If you are having fear in you, there is some Kula Deiva interfering, or you are not ready for Bhairava yet. Fear does not exist in this path. You do not fear anything or anybody. That is Bhairava. Bhairava Kalike Namostute. Jai Mahadya.